how to check what is arch. Arch means auto-regressive conditional heteroscedasticity. Means we are using the term conditional. Means it is whenever we use the term conditional, means it is conditional in particular time series. It is conditional on the information available up to last period. I am repeating, in time series, conditional mean or conditional variance or conditional heteroscedasticity. What does conditional word mean? Conditional means conditional on the information available up to previous period. Means present value is conditional on the information available up to previous period. If information changes, our value will also change. Here it is conditional. What is arch? Auto-regressive conditional heteroscedasticity. What is heteroscedasticity? Heteroscedasticity means if we divide the sample in different periods in case of time series and in case of cross-sectional data, if we divide the sample in different parts. Yeah. What is heteroscedasticity? Means if we divide the sample into different parts or different time periods, variance of the model changes. It is heteroscedasticity. In cross-sectional data, to check the heteroscedasticity, we plot residuals against expected value of dependent variable. I am repeating, in cross-sectional data, though it's time series, workshop, FDP, but I am telling in brief to you how the heteroscedasticity in cross-sectional data checked. In cross-sectional data, we plot residuals against expected value of dependent variable, and then we check whether variance is changing from time to time or not. Yes, in cross-sectional data, in time series data, arch effect or heteroscedasticity, first we will be checking heteroscedasticity. Heteroscedasticity is checked with the help of diagram, and that diagram is parallelogram squared residual. It is graphical presentation of heteroscedasticity. I am repeating. Graphical presentation means parallelogram squared residuals. We present parallelogram squared residuals if terms are significant. If only first value is significant or other are significant. If these are significant, then we may say that there is heteroscedasticity. Then formally checking the heteroscedasticity with the help of heteroscedasticity test. Two tests are generally famous, which are widely used. One is white and second is arch. White test tells us whether there is heteroscedasticity in data or not. Arch tells us whether if there is heteroscedasticity, there may be arch effect or not arch effect. Means heteroscedasticity is there, but arch effect is there if volatility is conditioned, heteroscedasticity is conditioned on its previous values. Now, generally we say Garch family. What is difference between arch and Garch? the same difference that is with MA and AR terms. I am repeating. What is difference between arch and garch? The same difference that is in Arima model, that is with MA and AR. MA terms means residuals. MA terms means residuals. AR terms means own past value. I am repeating. In Arima model, MA terms are residuals and AR terms are own past value, means past value of dependent variable, lags of dependent variable. In same way, garch, in garch, arch term is MA term, means residual term. Arch term is MA term, means residual term. And garch term is previous lag of the dependent variable. And here dependent variable is variance. In garch model, dependent variable is variance. Means we want to check whether variance is significantly dependent on its past value or past residuals. Because we are talking about variance, so we will be scaring the residuals. Means we will be checking whether residual variance is dependent on its own past value, its own lags, and scares of residuals. This is garch. Clear? Yes. In this presentation shared with you, almost all steps have been explained in this presentation. Yes. Yes. What are limitations of arch model and what are expectations of arch model? Expectations of arch model are that all the coefficients, all these coefficients, alpha 0, alpha 1, should be positive because dependent variable is variance. I am repeating, dependent variable is variance. So all the coefficients should be positive. But now the other limitation is in arch-garch model, it is expected, and except in e-garch, we will be expecting in all type of garch models that coefficient should be positive. Now, how to select lags in arch model? It is problematic. That is why garch was introduced, because we face the problem of selecting lags, and if we include so many lags, then it is better. Someone in the morning session was asking, I have AR1, MA1 and AR and MA equal AIC or SIC. Which model should I prefer? I answered that go for AR model. If these are equal, go with parsimonious model, and AR model is better because applying the model on its previous past is sometimes better. Here, that is why when garch model was introduced, it was said that past variance has included all the terms. I'm repeating, past variance has included all the terms which were far away from first lag of residual. So it is better to apply Garch model instead of arch with many lags. It's better to apply a Garch model instead of arch with many lags. Yes. How
Ma'am,
to
ma'am,
estimate?
could you please repeat this line, last line?
Yes. It is better to apply Garch model than applying arch model with many lags, because previous lags have already been, information contained in previous lags has already been incorporated in previous value of variance. Clear? All the information which are in, it is conditional. Arch means conditional. In Arima, that is not conditional. It is conditional, means it is conditional on the previous value of itself. Clear? It is conditional. In case of Garch, it is conditional on its previous values, as well as, see this, means, see this, means this variance. Variance is equal to a constant term plus coefficient of arch term ut minus 1 square, means squared residual of previous term, and beta variance of previous variance. Then it was said that when we calculated previous variance, then at that time all the information available in previous residuals has already been incorporated. That is why Garch is better than many lakhs of arch. Clear?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Should
Thank
I explain again? No?
you. Ma'am, clear.
Clear. Yes. Yes. Garch family of model is applied on stationary series, and we apply this on return series. Generally, return is stationary. Clear? Let's do ourselves. Swarna shared with me her file, original data. It is data downloaded by Swarna. It's
Yes,
not
ma'am.
my data. Yes, it is first-hand data and new to me also. I will be working on this data with all of you. We are, let's
Thank you.
start.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, silver daily data. Drag and drop the file on eviews. Drag and drop the file on eviews. Just finish. Generate. See, let's check whether there is any outlier or no. No need, because we are converting the data. So, because we will be working with return, and we will be checking whether return data is significant. Return data contains an outlier or not. Generate return equal to D log within bracket, silver bracket close into 100. I have calculated return D log silver, because variable name is silver. D log silver into 100. This data is from 1st July 2005 to 31st December 2019. Here we may check in all the equations. It is their sample. Here we may check the sample period. In this case, in the present case, It is from 1st July 2005 to 31st December 2019. Yes. Okay. We will be opening the return series. It's showing that this series has been modified and has been converted to return with the formula d log within bracket silver. Let's plot the graph, plot the data. Okay. Yes, there may be some outliers. This one, this one. Swarna was asking how to check the dates. One method is this, and second method is view spreadsheet. This I am telling you first time, all of you. View spreadsheet. So by default, it is sorted by observation order, but we will be sorting by return series in ascending order as well as in descending order. I am repeating. I went to view spreadsheet means I opened the data, then sort by return series and ascending order as well as descending order. See.
Screen is not moving. I'm not getting voice. I think the screen is frozen.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Participants, please wait for a while. I think ma'am has lost the connectivity. Okay, ma'am.
Sorry, participants. I don't know what was the problem. I think now it is visible. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, ma'am. It is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I calculated the return series and check. Let's do it again. I calculated return series and calculated the outlier. Outlier is for 12th May 2011.
Excuse you, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, you were sorting the data. You just
Yes.
calculated the return, and thereafter you were sorting the data, and
Yeah.
you lost your.
I have started from this point only. Kavita has told me by telephone that at this point there was some disconnection.
Ma'am, this is Kavita here. You
Okay.
lost the connectivity where you just
Okay.
calculated the returns.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am sorting the data. Yes. So I opened the series return. Sorry. Return series. Sort it by default it is sorted by observation order, but we want to sort it by return ascending order as well as descending order. Minimum value is minus 16 on 12th May 2011 and maximum value is, when we sort it by descending order, it is 11.24. It is on 18 September 2008. Yes, 1110. These may be outlier or no, but minus 16 is very far away from this. It may be treated as an outlier. So we will be creating the dummy. We may note down the dates and create dummy for 2 or more dates. Yes, in the same series, in the same variable name or different variables. If we want to see the collective impact of these, average impact of this, then generate dummy variable for different dates in one series only. But if you want to check the impact individually, then you have to generate different dummy variables. Clear? Yes, I am creating only for one day. It is 12th May 2011. Go to generate dummy is equal to at the rate of recode within bracket at the rate of date is equal to at the rate of date value date BAL within bracket. It was, what was the date? 12th May 2011.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
12th
ma'am.
May 2011. Bracket close, comma 1, comma this. Yes, quick estimate equation, return space C space W. I'm not including any AR term or any MA term. I'm also not changing the method. It's ordinary least square. Let's see the results. Okay. Durbin-Watson is near to 2, but let's check. But Durbin-Watson tells us about only first order autocorrelation. I'm repeating, only first order autocorrelation means autocorrelation with only one lag. You residual diagnostic, hologram, two-stat. Okay. There is problem with ninth flag onward. There is problem with the ninth flag onward. We don't expect with ninth flag onward because in daily data, how many lags are expected to have problems? These are, I told you, one more than the frequency. If it is 5 days a week, we will be expecting up to 6. That means there was again some outliers which we have to return, which we have to incorporate. Let's incorporate the other. 15th April 2013. 15th April 2013. Dummy 1 is equal to at the rate of read code in bracket at the rate of date is equal to at the rate of date value is equal to date value is equal to 05 oblique 12 oblique 2011. I am generating dummy variables for all the 3 or 4 values in single variable. Bracket close, inverted commas close, bracket close. And at the rate date is equal to at the rate date value within bracket. Second is it is 15th April 2013. 04 oblique 15 oblique 2013. Inverted commas close, bracket close. See, then comma 1, comma. I'm copying this formula because we may have to create dummy variable for minimum values also. Let's check whether our problem has been solved or not. Okay. And now there are two 1 values and other values are 0. Let's see, sort as per dummy, descending order, 2 values are 1. Sort dummy, descending variable, only 1 value is 1. Second value was dummy 1. We created the variable dummy 1. Here we have two values, dummy 1. Let's check. There are 2 values or not. So why it is not sorting? We created 4. It was 2 values. We have to create 4 different values. It is not creating all the values in one. Let's see what's the problem.
415.
Both are correct. But let's create different variables. Sort by dummy 1. It's not sorting. Let's create different variable. Delete this. Create another variable, dummy 1. Sorry. Paste it. Control B. We copied the formula. Delete this. And this is the formula for dummy 1, means for second weight. Yes, dummy 1. Sort as per dummy 1, descending. Yes, it has created another dummy. Let's see what happens now. Estimate equation, return space C space dummy space dummy 1.
Okay.
View residual diagnostic parallelogram. Use that. Again there is problem. Means our model is not correctly specified. That means we have to create dummy for other variables also. Sort by return by descending. Okay, now the date is 18th September 2008. Generate, sorry, on the main window, go to generate. Date was now, it was
9/18/2008, ma'am.
18th September 2018.
8.
18th September 2008.
Yes, ma'am.
For 9 of 18 oblique 2008. We will be creating dummy
Ma'am, dummy 3 we have to give, ma'am, or dummy 1? Okay.
dummy 1, dummy 2.
Oh.
It's dummy 2. Yes, we have to create one more dummy. Generate dummy 3 for 27th September 2011. 27 September 2011. Now we have dummy 1, dummy. Yes. Let's estimate the equation and see what happens. Quick estimate equation. Return space C space dummy space. Yes. Someone please.
Dummy 1. Dummy 1.
Yes.
Dummy
I
2.
am doing this. Please mute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. All the dummies are significant. View residual diagnostic, use tab. Problem has been solved up to very far 15. That's why you may be introducing some more dummies. Clear? See the way we are introducing the dummy, many problems are solved. Up to 15th lag, we have solved the problem. Clear,
Yes, ma'am.
Swarna?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, got it, ma'am.
Yes.
Got it, ma'am. Thank you,
Yes.
ma'am.
View residual diagnostic parallelogram squared residual. We are checking whether there is any arch effect in the model or not. Yes, it is significant. See these values. First values are significant. It is the indication. Parallelogram of residual squared is the indication that there may be heteroscedasticity. View residual diagnostic, then heteroscedasticity test. If we want to model arch, then we may check arch effect. Yes. How many lags to include? Yes, see, in squared residual, almost 10 or 11 are significant. You may check with 5. Generally, we see because it is only to check whether arch effect is there in the series, in the return series or not. We are going with 5 lakhs. Why 5 lakhs? Because we
5
have
days in a week.
not still 5 days a week and we have not still corrected our main model. Because many dummies are to be introduced and we have less time. We have to
Okay, ma'am.
complete by 5:30 today
Okay, okay, ma'am.
along with your queries. Yes, number of lakhs 5. Yes, no arch effect. Null hypothesis is no arch effect and this null hypothesis is rejected. So there may be arch effect. We will be changing the method from least square to arch. It is arch. Autoregressive conditional heteroscedasticity. Autoregressive conditional heteroscedasticity. Specification. Okay, I'm not including any regressor. Sorry. Okay, these are the results. Yes, these are the results. Now, if we applied arch model, now dummy are not significant. So, we may remove the dummy after applying the arch effect. Let's see, view residual diagnostic parallelogram Q-stat because it was due to the presence of arch effect. Let's see all the participants. See, I'm deleting dummies from the model because it was not outliers that was irritating us, that was we have to bother. It was arch effect. By applying arch model, residuals are now fit. Yes, see, residuals are fit. That means it was not due to its own lag, it was because of presence of arch effect. See, all the variables, all the lags are insignificant now. Yes, second is we have to check residual diagnostic parallelogram squared residuals. Yes, these are also not significant. Now let's see whether any arch effect is there in the series or not. I'll be going now with only one because no one is significant. Parallelogram squared residual is showing that no one is significant. That's why I'm going only with one. You may check with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yes, arch effect is not there. It is null hypothesis, and null hypothesis cannot be rejected. That means our mean equation as well as variance equation. There are two equations, mean equation and variance equation. Both are correctly specified. We may say on the basis of, someone please mute yourself. Someone please mute yourself. Yes. It is on the basis of residual diagnostic. Parallelogram, Q-stat and parallelogram squared. Both are correct. Now, we don't need to bother about this. Yes, both the equations have been correctly specified on the basis of residuals. We can say this. Yes.
This R
Yes.
square is negative.
No,
Adjusted R
not
square.
negative. Not negative. See
R
this.
square, adjusted R square are negative.
Where are negative?
In the bottom.
Ah,
R
okay,
square.
okay. It doesn't matter whether R square or adjusted R square. Read the book by Brooks. It says these are sometimes negative. In time series data, these are highly expected, but only in the main series. Only in the main series means price series. If we model the price series, R square is highly means if we model the non-stationary series, R square is high. But if we model the stationary series, R square are generally low and sometimes it is negative also. Brooks book, book by book. Okay. Brooks, Chris Brooks. Yes. See, these two variables are highly significant. These p-values tell us that these variables are highly significant. Yes.
Ma'am, that C probability value is.
Yeah,
What,
I'm saying on the basis of probability value, these two variables are highly significant. How to interpret these variables? Residual minus 1 square. It is arch effect. Arch effect means there are high spikes in the return series. High spike means previous residual term, squared residual term impacts the volatility more. Clear? High spikes are there. If you compare two series, you may compare these value in which arch effect is high than the other series. Then Garch minus 1. What does it tell us about? Tell us. Yes, Garch minus 1. It is Garch effect. There are two ways to interpret it. Some books say that Garch minus 1, coefficient of Garch minus 1 tells us about the persistence of volatility. I am repeating. Some books say Garch minus 1 tell us about the persistence of volatility in the series. Then some books say summation of arch and Garch term. Summation of coefficients of arch and Garch term tells us about the persistence of volatility. So you may go with any of the view, but you have to write this. Brooks say that sum of these two tell us about the persistence of volatility. Generally, many research papers follow this version, that arch and Garch, summation of arch and Garch tell us about the persistence of volatility. It
What
is
does arch term tell? Arch term?
arch term tells us about the spikes, whether previous means the previous difference in actual and expected volatility of previous term. Clear? Previous day.
I read it. It is the impact of new news on volatility, and Garch term is the impact of old news.
What is news? Why there is difference? Why there is difference in actual and expected in time series data? Why there is difference? It is news. Clear? Why there is? Yes, we will be touching this point, whether news impacts it or not, with the help of Garch model and with the help of Garch model. I have already shared with you the file. Yes, next point is this. Clear? Yes, see. Parallelogram. I have told you all this, how to interpret these variants. One condition, one other condition is summation of arch and Garch term should not be greater than 1. It is near to 1, but it is not greater than 1. All the conditions are satisfied because summation of these two terms is not greater than 1. These two are positive and these two are significant. That means we may interpret these.
Ma'am, how much can we say the volatility is, taking in view these terms? We can just say there is volatility, or how much is the volatility does not matter.
You may calculate the what does it say? It is known time varying variance. Clear?
Additional volatility.
With a formula of no. I already said that we should compare. In my research paper, I compared gold and silver. Volatility in gold and volatility in spot and futures market, and then compared which market is more volatile than the other. Market of spot and future. Clear? You may calculate.
Ma'am, but in case of single variable, how can we say that how much is the volatility, high or low, or
It is how much is the volatility? It is volatility is time varying or not. You may say whether volatility is changing over time or not by go to procure, make Garch variance series, Garch 01, and you may show its graph. I have shown its graph in my research, in my thesis, and you may say that volatility was highest on this particular day. Clear? Volatility was highest on this particular date. You may see the result. In my thesis, it was 17th September. I always quote in my FDP whenever I am the source person. My case, in my thesis, volatility was highest in gold on 17th September 2008. In the same way, it is highest on, in this case, 16th May 2011. You have to check what was on that particular day. I checked on 17th September 2008. What happened? On that particular day, nothing happened. But just 2 days before that, means on 15th September 2008, Lehman Brothers in Europe declared themselves insolvent, and they were real estate investors. That is highest, that impact the volatility in gold. There was highest impact on that particular day. Clear? It is the interpretation of this. You may interpret that, see stat, sorry, it is stat, yes, you may interpret that there are significant spikes and volatility persistence is significant. Only these two things, volatility, time varying volatility, you can't say on the basis of this time varying volatility. Yes, what is the volatility? I showed you the GARCH. Yes, it is GARCH 01 view graph. You may say this much is the volatility. See, this is the value. Clear? This much is the volatility. On how you can say that on this particular day volatility was this. On this particular day, it is because it is time varying. We can't say on a particular day. Clear? You have to calculate unconditional variance for this, and there is formula to calculate unconditional variance. I'll be sharing in the group because we have only 30 minutes and I have to touch Starch and e-GARCH model, and I'll be leaving the group today at night. Clear? At 6 or 7 I will be leaving the group because you are not following the group. There is, sorry, no time to waste. Yes, highest volatility on this particular day. You may calculate unconditional variance to say how much unconditional volatility in this particular period of your research, of your study. How much was the unconditional variance? Clear? I'll be sharing the formula just after this workshop at 6 o'clock, and then after that I leave the group. Yes. Now, next is yes, see, I have shared this with you. Diagnostic model, you have to diagnose. I have told diagnostics for variance equation. Then you have to check, yes, why we need the extension of GARCH model. GARCH model expect non-negativity in volatility. Means arch term should be non-negative, means positive, GARCH term should be positive. And second one is we want to account for the leverage effect. Someone was asking about news impact. That is leverage effect, means whether positive news impacts volatility high or negative news impacts volatility high. It is leverage effect, news impact. We will be seeing the news impact, different effect of good and bad news. Yes. How to check? Yes, some other needs are there for extension. To examine the feedback relationship between conditional variance and conditional mean, and to estimate higher power or lower powers of arch and GARCH, and to differentiate permanent and transitory effect in volatility. But just I'll be touching because of constraint of time, I'll be touching only the news impact in volatility. How to check the news impact in volatility? Estimate the model. There are two models to check news impact. One is TARCH and other is e-GARCH. I am repeating. One is TARCH and other is e-GARCH. TARCH, also called GJR GARCH model. I am repeating, TARCH, also called GJR GARCH model. Simply convert this term threshold order to 1. Simply convert threshold order to 1. Yes. Okay. See, what does it do? Yes, Garch. See, now the Garch equation is Garch is equal to C2, means this constant. Then C3 residual minus 1 square. It is arch term. Then C4, I'll be talking about later about this. C5, Garch minus 1. It is Garch term. Means now arch term is this and Garch term is this. Yes. What is C4? C. It is C4 into residual minus 1 square. Means C4 into arch. Residual minus 1 square, it is arch. C4 is the coefficient of arch multiplied by residual minus 1 less than 0. Means if it was negative, what happened? If it was negative, then 0. If it was positive, means it was positive, there was positive effect. Then volatility means if residual was higher, then volatility increased or not. What we expect from this term? Yes. See, I have written in this. Yes. C4. In charge, we expect C5. In that C5, because I also I included AR1 and MA1. That's why this term was changed to see this term residual minus 1 square into residual minus 1 less than 0. This term is C5. In the presentation, this term should be positive and significant. In our case, it is negative and significant, means reverse. If there is any positive news, if there is any positive news, good news, then volatility is high. If there is any negative news, volatility is low. Generally, it doesn't work in commodity markets. It works in stock market. Why? Because in commodity market, news are very less. Generally, it is demand and supply news which impacts the commodity markets, particularly precious metal market. But in stock market, there are so many news. ED has been changed, means any there is any change in the management of any company. It is news for stock market, but it is not a news for commodity market. That's why this Tarch and Garch, these work more, Tarch and E-Garch work more in, means news impacts more in stock market than in commodity market. That's why I didn't apply these models in my thesis, but in the latest research paper which I sent to Gibbs, I had to apply this model. Why I had to apply E-Garch model? Because other models were not exactly capturing the volatility. I was not able to, my results were not robust because sometimes arch term was negative and sometimes Garch term was negative. I tried higher order, means Garch 2, arch 2, but nothing could solve my problem. That is why I have to go a symmetry model, E-Garch model. Here, generally in commodity market, it is not a symmetry which applies, but sometimes we may have to check a symmetry. Sorry, E-Garch model first. This term, C3. Here we expect this term to be significant. Yes, we expect E guard for symmetry to be present. C5 in the variance equation should be negative and significant. In that, we expect this positive and significant, and in E guard, we expect it negative and significant, but it is positive and significant. Again, it is confirming the result of TARCH that positive news impacts volatility more than negative news. Positive news generally is demand. Higher demand impacts the volatility more than the lower demand. Demand of gold decreases, there is no silver, sorry, in this case silver. We may say that generally news for silver and gold is demand and supply. If demand for news, you may write in bracket, news is positive, then volatility is high. If news is negative, volatility is low. Yes, this all is from my side. Now, your problem. Yes, any of you may ask any problem. Those who are interested in higher order, let me speak one line. Those who are interested in multivariate Gauge model, Dr. Kavita is interested, but this workshop includes so many beginners, so I am not touching that. But Kavita, you may ask the participants. If 10 or more are interested, we may organize one session of 1 hour for that. You organize
Sure.
and clear. If
Okay,
if
ma'am.
if people are interested, it's not for beginner, because I can't give more than 1 hour. Clear? For
Okay,
that,
ma'am, I'll take
I'll
the
be giving
consent from
extra time,
participants.
but only for actual learners, not for beginners. Clear? Actual those who have already worked on arch guards. For those people or those who are actually working on their thesis and have touched arch and guards, then we will be going for higher model. Back and DCC guards. Only 2 models I will touch in 1 hour. Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
want to continue 1 hour more or
Yes,
after
you are.
ending this session?
Now your question session, it will be of 18 minutes only. Yes, participants. Yes.
Ma'am,
Ask.
ma'am, Santosh Singhal this side, ma'am.
जी, sir.
Ma'am, hello.
हाँ जी,
Ma'am,
sir.
actually, I have a doubt. I'm working on a
Yeah.
paper and I'm
Okay.
confused in VCM. Actually, I also send you a WhatsApp. So can you please give me 2 minutes after this session?
Yeah. After this session, actually, director of DICE will be with us at 5:30. Clear?
Okay. May I share
Yes.
you with you my?
You may share. You may
Please,
share now,
ma'am.
sir.
Please.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm stop sharing my screen.
Please.
I
Please.
stop sharing my
Ma'am.
screen. Search screen. Yes, other participant.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Yeah, ma'am, I have 3 questions.
Excuse me.
One by one. Otherwise, you are
Ma'am, this
wasting
is the
your
result.
time. I have only 7
this is-
minutes for you.
Okay,
Yes,
ma'am.
sir.
One
Santosh, sir.
question regarding the volatility spillover, ma'am.
Yes. Volatility
Just,
spillover. Yes,
yeah, ma'am.
I have not touched volatility spillover. Just I asked Dr. Kavita that back model and DCC Garch model, these are multivariate Garch model. I'm not touching this. I will be touching afterward. I will be giving special time of 1 hour to the interested people only. Those for those who have the basic knowledge of Garch model. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Second is, ma'am,
Santosh, sir.
ma'am, one more question.
Ma'am, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Can you see my
It's
screen?
visible, sir. It's visible.
Yeah, actually, I want to see, ma'am. I want to know the impact of public and private sector banks on bank nifty. So it is a result of VCM. I'm not understanding which bank is
Yes.
impacting more to bank nifty. Can you please tell me
Yes.
in this
Sir,
example?
sir, please show the combined graph of all these
Yeah, ma'am.
series. Show the
This one,
combined
ma'am. This
graph.
one.
Today someone also asked this question. Then I asked that all the no, sir, combined graph of all the series. Combined graph of the
Ma'am.
series. Yes,
View.
it is. Yes.
View.
Yeah.
The view के बाद मैम
थोड़ा व्यू के बाद नहीं आप सारी सीरीज को इकट्ठे ओपन कीजिए, उनका ग्राफ शो कीजिए. ठीक है, आपने को इंटीग्रेशन चेक किया, कौन कौन से वेरिएबल्स को इंटीग्रेटेड है? हाउ मेनी को इंटीग्रेशन इक्वेशन वर देयर? How many?
One co-integration.
Only one co-integration equation means only two variables are co-integrated. Only two variables are. No, sir. Did you check the co-integration, Johansson's co-integration?
Yeah, I am Johnson co-integration. May thereby showing one co-integrating equation. May I show you again from the
This
starting?
was my problem because coefficients are greater than greater than 1. And
Yes. Sorry, I have to mute.
It
Dr.
is the
Urvashi is
result
calling me. Yes. Yes,
this
sir.
was my
It is the
question.
result of Madam VCM.
Yes, sir. You must have checked. You must have checked co-integration equation. How many co-integration equation are there? For this, you have to check graphically first. Always check graphically whether series may be co-integrated or not. Clear?
Ma'am, I used Johnson co-integration
No,
and I
sir.
found
First check
trace test.
graphically. First
Ma'am,
check graphically.
Ma'am, after
Yes.
testing graphically,
Ma'am.
what we have to do?
I
After
told
checking.
you the
Ma'am, what
steps.
is the
I told you the steps in morning session. Yes, sir. Ask your question.
ma'am? What is the result showing by these axes -1 Bank of Baroda 21? I'm not getting it. Ki what is the
First
result?
of all, check whether your series are co-integrated or not. If series are co-integrated, then we may say that if only means I think it was Walter Enders who says if only two series are co-integrated, go with ARDL rather than error correction model. If only two series are co-integrated, means if there is only one co-integration equation, go with ARDL rather than error correction model. If there are more than two co-integration, then go with, you have more than two variables and you have only one co-integration equation, then go with error correction model. In more than two variables, you have only one co-integration equation, then go with ARDL. Clear? सर आप तब तक कीजिए, तब तक मैं इनके क्वेश्चंस. सर आप ग्राफिकली, मैं बार कह रही हूँ, आप ग्राफिकली शो कीजिए अपने उसको. Yes.
What is the role of variance regressors in variance equation?
Variance regressor. Yes. Variance regressor. I am sharing my screen. For example, we want to check whether I think I have shown in the presentation, we want to check whether there is any impact of day of the week, any impact of turnover -1. Clear? Then means previous turnover of previous day, whether it was high or low, it impacts our volatility or not. This is the screen. I think it's visible. I
Yes,
think
ma'am.
my screen is visible.
Yeah,
Yes.
ma'am.
If you want to check whether previous day turnover, previous period turnover impacts our volatility or not, then this we have to introduce in variance regressor. For example, I shared a screenshot with you. It was on day before yesterday at WhatsApp group. I shared a screenshot and I said that, see, it was for, yes, it was for Monday dummy. How to create Monday dummy. Clear? If we want to check whether volatility was higher on Monday than other days, or volatility was higher on a particular day or particular period than other. For example, after this pandemic of COVID is over, you may check whether volatility is higher in this particular period or lower in this particular period. You may create dummy for this period and introduce that dummy in variance regression. Clear?
Ma'am, it means in case if we have to find out the impact of any particular variable on the volatility.
Any
introducing
particular
both.
variable on volatility, that you have to introduce in variance regression.
Fine, ma'am. Fine.
More than
Ma'am,
one
as
may be
Ma'am,
there. Yes,
ma'am, Swarna
Ma'am?
here, ma'am. How to do forecasting, ma'am?
I have not touched forecasting, but it is there, forecast. Clear?
Ma'am, as discussed by sir, if this the case, then we have to use unrestricted var, because some variables are
No.
co-integrated.
I say if our dependent variable is co-integrated with any of the other variable, then we have to go only one other variable. Then we have to go with ARTL. If our dependent variable is co-integrated with only one variable, there is only one co-integration. Walter Anders says then you should go for ARTL. Latest edition of Walter Anders, fourth edition. It is, I don't know what
Ma'am,
is
what
the
if
page
greater
number.
than one? What if greater
What
than
is?
one co-integration? Co-integration equation one से ज़्यादा हो
Yes,
तब क्या
yes,
करेंगे?
yes, yes. तो आप error correction model के साथ ही जाएंगे.
मैम तो
Yes,
जैसे ये results आए हमारे.
questions for volatility, please.
Ma'am, Harpreet this side.
Yes.
Hello. Ma'am, as you have mentioned what turnover -1, that is when we have to see the impact of something on the volatility. For example, if I want to see the impact of one index on the another index, can I use this as a volatility spillover topic to put the
Yeah.
one
It
equation
will
regressor?
it will be volatility spillover. If other topics are to be covered, we may organize workshop of 2 or 3 days, but only if volatility spillover is to be addressed, I'll be giving you extra time. But as per my convenience,
But
I'm
ma'am,
giving
in
extra
case
time. It will be as per my convenience, not as per
Sure,
your
ma'am.
convenience.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
Sure,
how
ma'am.
to
That's
interpret mean
ma'am. One
equation
more
in the
point
Gauge
is
model, ma'am?
so far
Yes.
in meaning. So far, when we are running the Gauge model,
Yes.
we are required to first finalize Arima model, or we should go with the AR -1. That is sufficient.
I didn't introduce Arima model. See, I regress this data on C only.
Yes, ma'am.
Clear?
So far the
Arima we introduce Arima. That is in my presentation as well as in my YouTube video.
yes, ma'am.
Yes.
but ma'am,
We
you also
intro.
discussed about
Yes, please let
Ma'am,
me complete. I have only 7 minutes left with me, and many queries are to be addressed. Let me complete. Yes, we introduce Arima if corogram Q stat is significant. If these are significant, then we go for Arima or Arma. Otherwise, we don't go for Arma or Arima. Clear?
okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank
It
you.
was significant. That's why I have to go with AR term. Clear?
Okay.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Next.
Okay, ma'am.
how to
Thank you.
interpret mean equation in the Gauge model, ma'am?
It is interpretation is simple as of OLS. Simple
Gauge.
as of OLS.
Okay.
Yes.
ma'am, while running Arima model, ma'am, we got one coefficient sigma SQ.
Just a minute. Just a minute. $5:45. Yes, participant.
Yes,
There
ma'am.
was some urgent call for me.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Actually, ma'am, while running Arima model, we got one coefficient sigma SQ. Ma'am, वो समझ नहीं आया क्या होता है sigma x SQ?
अभी मैं नहीं बता सकती क्योंकि अभी तो इसके आर्च के हैं. Some other day or you may ask me personally because I am leaving the group.
No issues,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, you may ask me personally. Yes. Other question, please, related to arch. Other question
Ma'am,
related to arch. Yes.
Yes. Ma'am, what is drift?
What is
Drift.
drift? What is drift? It is just like constant. Clear? Sea, view, silver. I am showing you this data graph. In individual series, it is this term, drift. Clear? Means in two series, multivariate regression, drift. Drift is just like sometimes it says drift in these two series. Clear? Generally, you may say drift means, generally you may say if there is positive intercept, it is intercept, this is intercept. If it is positive and value is going on, we may say that there is drift. If it is positive and values continuously are going down, means negative drift. If there is no such trend of up or down, we say that there is no drift. In random walk theory, you are talking about drift. Yes, it is the interpretation of drift. Yes.
Thank you.
Questions, please, related to Arch-Garch model, please.
Hello, ma'am.
Questions related to Arch-Garch model. We have only 4 minutes. Yes. Yes.
Ma'am, if you want to know the news impact, how do we decide that whether we need to apply E-Garch or T-Garch?
E-Garch is more means widely used than Garch, Tarch. Nothing different in E-Garch and Tarch model. Just in E-Garch, values, there is no negativity constraint. Means coefficients may be negative in E-Garch because our dependent variable is not only variance, it is log variance. So values may be negative also. That is why E-Garch is preferred than Tarch. But
Information criteria.
Both will give you the same results. If you want to check the news impact, both the models will give you the same impact.
Then we
Yes.
can select it from the information criteria also, which is better for us, Garch or T-Garch.
Information criteria is not applicable for different models. You can't select different models on the basis of AIC. In the same equation, you may select the lag length on the basis of AIC, BIC. You may select R model on the basis of different models. R square may be applicable, but sometimes even R square is not applicable. Read the book by Andy Field. It says that it was Andy Field or Stock Watson. One of the two books say that even R square is not applicable to select different models. If you introduce different dependent variable, then R square will not work for you to select the model if dependent variables are different.
Ma'am,
Yes.
in between session आप बोल रहे थे कि you will tell us कि how to calculate unconditional variance. वो आप कह रहे थे बताने के लिए.
मैंने ये कहा था वैसे तो कि मैं ग्रुप में तुम्हें फॉर्मूला भेज दूंगी.
अच्छा, ग्रुप में बताओगे? No issues, मैम.
बताऊंगी नहीं, फॉर्मूला की पिक भेज दूंगी बस.
अच्छा, ठीक है मैम.
आज से लिख के फॉर्मूला की पिक भेज दूंगी.
हाँ जी मैम.
Yes. We have only 1 minute. Any question?
मैम, anyone?
मैम को इंटीग्रेशन वाला बता दीजिए.
मैम आपसे मैम कब डिस्कस कर सकता हूँ आपसे जॉनसन के रिगार्डिंग?
सर पहले आप मुझे अपने वेरिएबल्स की ग्राफ शेयर करेंगे, उसके बाद ही मैं कुछ बता पाऊंगी.
मैम आई हैव द सेम प्रॉब्लम.
ग्राफ शेयर करेंगे सर, देन आई मे टेल यू, अदरवाइज मैं नहीं बता पाऊंगी. ठीक है, पहले ग्राफ शेयर व्हाट्सएप कर देना. नो इश्यू, व्हाट्सएप कर देना. ठीक है
मैम, गार्च जब हम लोग रन करते हैं तो उसमें वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशंस के लिए भी पूछता है. नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, टी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, और इस तरह से गॉसियन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, तो ये भी कुछ इश्यूज होते हैं इसमें।
हाँ, ये होते हैं, बिल्कुल होते हैं। उसके लिए आप क्या करेंगे, रेजिडुअल सेव करेंगे, रेजिडुअल्स का हिस्टोग्राम बनाएंगे, देन आप उसको कंपेयर करेंगे, इट इज क्लोज टू टी और क्लोज टू नॉर्मल, देन यू विल सिलेक्ट व्हिच वन टू अप्लाई. These are higher things to discuss,
ओके
higher
मैम।
points. Okay, yes, these are in my model, in my video it was related to T. I didn't convert it to T distribution. That is why I was not able to solve the problem of autocorrelation. Yes, you may note down the formula for unconditional variance. And last point from my side, you may note down the unconditional formula for unconditional variance. It is alpha 0. It is alpha 0. I am showing you what is alpha 0. Alpha 0 means constant term. Go to stack. Sorry, on Garch model, on this window. Alpha 0. Estimate on simple Garch model is 0. Okay. Unconditional variance is alpha 0. Means this term. Divided by 1 minus, note down, I will not be sharing to the group because I am telling you this term divided by 1 minus summation of these terms. Clear?
Repeat it, ma'am. Repeat it, ma'am, please.
This term divided by, you may take the pic of or you may save the screenshot. This term divided by 1 minus summation of these two terms. It is unconditional variance. Yes. Complete from my side. Complete from my side. Will not address any query because time is up. It was from 4 to 5:30.
मैम ग्रुप में भी सेंड कर देना प्लीज अनकंडीशनल का।
No, why? जब मैंने कहा था ग्रुप में तब आपने क्वेश्चन रिपीट किया. Then why should I send to the group?
सॉरी मैम।
Okay. I'll be sharing in the group.
ठीक है मैम, थैंक यू सो मच।
Okay. Yes. I'm stopping to share my screen. Yes, Dr. Urvashi.
Very good evening.
Hello, ma'am. Your voice is not clear, ma'am.
I think, good evening, Sunita ma'am. This is Dr. Malti.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much. And we are so very glad that you have agreed again to be a part of the FDP also and have been disseminating your knowledge to lot of participants.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
we are-
I enjoyed working with Dr. Urvashi.
Thank you so
Very good person.
Yes, she has been in fact handling the FDPs at DIAS for quite some time, and she has become a professional at doing so. And every time, every resource person has a very good word for her, and she's an asset for us too, ma'am.
Yeah. Really, she's an asset for you.
Yes. Nevertheless, a very good evening to one and all who are there. And I think that the 1 week FDP program on time series and financial econometrics using eviews has been again successfully completed, and there has been a huge knowledge enhancing session because I've been in constant touch with Urvashi, and she was updating me. I couldn't be part of the program, but nevertheless, the valedictory session, which is the most important one for completion of an event, is the place where I am. And I thank each one of you, all the participants who have joined us from far and wide to be part of this journey. We thank them and also their directors for granting them the permission to attend. And most of all, I would express my thanks to Dr. Sunita Arora, who has again taken time out from her busy schedule and has been associated in the second program. And ma'am, this quite a positive and huge appreciations that you receive. And from our side also, we are highly indebted to you for having agreed readily to be a part of this 1 week FDP and share your knowledge with all the participants, because research is an ocean, and research and knowledge both are oceans. The more you go further, obviously, the more they quench your thirst. So I think all the participants have had huge takeaways from this session, and we at DIAS believe that learning is a continuous process, and as it is for the students, the teachers also end up becoming students for acquainting themselves with the latest tools and techniques. And these FDPs and MDPs give us a platform to interact with various participants and the resource persons to enhance our knowledge. So we will be continuing with these series, and we hope that this association of ours continues, and also expect that the participants would stay in touch for further programs that we intend to organize. A huge round of applause also for Dr. Urvashi, who has again managed the entire show, and Dr. Kavita, who has been assisting us, and all the faculty who have assisted them in undertaking this program. Technology has enabled us to conduct such programs. People can join us from far and wide. And this once again reiterates the principle that knowledge has no barriers, and we can keep continuing learning from wherever we are. So thanks to technology also, in spite of certain technological glitches that we end up having time and again, but then the positives are much more in comparison to the negatives. So a big thank you to each one of you, and especially Dr. Sunita Arora, highly indebted for having agreed to be part of this activity, ma'am. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
all
you.
the participants. Okay. Yes.
Hmm. Yes,
Thanks,
Urvashi.
Dr. Malini.
Okay, ma'am. Now I'm on.
Yes, you are audible, Urvashi.
Yes, ma'am. So thank you, director, ma'am.
थैंक यू बोलता रहे
Uh,
तो जा बस मैंने फ्री मैंने इत्थों निकलना बस 2 मिनट रुक जा
Yes. Yes, Urvashi, are you with us?
Thank you, ma'am, for such a great and encourage us in our future events. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you
Thanks
so
to
much.
all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.